All right, family, let's jump right in. Dear Dr. Dandridge, a friend I was close to for over a decade has slowly drifted away. I keep reaching out, hoping we'll reconnect, but I'm met with silence. I feel like I'm mourning someone who is still alive but no longer present in my life. I miss the laughter, the shared memories, and the comfort of knowing someone truly understands me. How do I grieve a friendship that's fading while still protecting my heart? Number one, thank you so much for writing in. I believe that this is a topic that we don't talk about enough. A lot of people don't realize that friendship loss hurts probably more than some marriages and even some family losses. The interesting thing about friendships is that they are chosen relationships. You can't choose your family. You chose your spouse or your partner and made a commitment, so that's a little bit different. But friendships have this way of just developing over time by way of shared bonds and commonalities and shared experiences. And when we lose friendships, it hurts at a different level. I think that it hurts the most because you had those shared bonds, because you had those similarities, because you had those things in common. And when you begin to see these friendships now fade away, it's like, wow, am I losing a piece of me and my identity? And one of the interesting things about grieving a friend who has just slowly drifted away is that it almost comes out of the blue. It's almost like y'all were good one day, talking almost every other day, hanging out every other weekend. And now all of a sudden they're like nowhere to be found. I think we've all had relationships inside of our life to where we just didn't know what happened. And it's almost just like the season that it was is now over. And now we don't know where to go from here. You say that you're met with silence when you're trying to reach out to this individual. I would encourage you to allow the person their space because there might be something that they are experiencing inside of this season of their life where your friendship might not have the capacity to truly be with them inside of the level that they need inside of this time. I know that you're kind of feeling as though you've lost someone who truly understands you, but this might be an opportunity for you to kind of rewind and see, was this friendship for a season or was this friendship for a lifetime? I've seen, even inside of my own personal life, friends of mine who I have lost contact with for literally years. Like, there's one friend of mine, as a matter of fact, him and I did not talk or had not seen each other for over 10 years. And we literally just reconnected 10 years later, had lunch the other day, and it's almost like things just never changed. Did I feel grief when our friendship kind of went apart? Most definitely. The hardest part of accepting friendship loss is accepting the fact that people change. And just like people change in your family, just like your spouse or your partner changes, you also have to give your friends the same grace to change. And sometimes change is for the good, sometimes it's for the better, sometimes you might be moving or even they might be moving inside of a different season of their life where, like I said earlier, your friendship just doesn't have the capacity to be for one another in the same way that it once was before. Ultimately, you ask the question, how can you protect your heart inside of this process? My biggest word of advice would be to not see the silence as ignoring. I think a lot of us, when friendships begin to fade away and that silence becomes louder, we take it personal because we feel as though that person is ignoring us. And that may not be the case. They may see you calling, they may see you texting, they may see you reaching out, but this season they might be protecting their heart from some things. I would say to look within yourself to see what might have triggered this change in behavior. Behaviors are oftentimes very indicative of how relationships go. And even as we're grieving friendship loss and how friendships change over time, we have to look at behaviors and what might have caused the loss. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it may feel as though you will never find another friend like that person again. But the hope that we all have with friendships is that we can become our own best friend first, that we learn to lean inside of our own identity first, that we learn to truly harp on what makes us tick and understand what makes us tick first before we can completely give ourselves or rely our existence or our identity on friendships inside of other people. As I've said before, inside of conversations like this, it's very difficult when seasons change. And a lot of our grief comes from the fact that we're still trying to hold on to a previous season. We're still trying to hold on to a previous identity. We're still trying to hold on to previous rituals and things that we used to do inside of our friendship. And you never know. Your friend might pick up the phone after not talking for 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years and say, you know something, I was going through something difficult at the time, and A, B, C, D, and E. And you might just pick it back up to how things were before. It might be a friendship that is meant to be terminated. It might be a friendship that is meant to be lost. And you're going to have to go through the grieving process associated with that loss. You're going to have to go through the guilt. What did I do? What didn't I do? You're going to have to go through the bargaining. Well, maybe I can do this or maybe I can do that. You're going to have to go through the anger. Well, why did they, choose to cut me off instead of cutting so and so off? You're going to have to go through all of that if that is the case. But I do want to encourage you that however this friendship lands, know that your value is in you knowing you and you being your own best friend first. Okay. So hopefully this helps out a little bit. Thank you again for writing in and for sharing your experience with us. I'm Dr. Dandridge. Thank you so much for joining me at my desk. Hopefully I'll see you all inside of the next conversation, which is going to be right here. As soon as you click the play button, I'll be right there to welcome you. Peace and blessings. This has been Designing Your Goodbye, and I'll talk to you all soon.